Hi, it's Richard Moore from Racing Profits Guides, and we're up here at Lodge Hill with Dan Skelton, the trainer. We're just going to have a bit of a chat about Dan's career and then look at some of the courses that he sends his horses to. Now then, Dan, you alright?
Yeah, good.
Good. Talk us through your career to date. You're 28 now, are you?
That's right, yeah.
And you've spent, how long were you at Paul Nicholls' yard?
I was down there for 9 years.
Yeah.
Pretty successful 9 years, obviously, goes without saying, but great to be associated with all those fantastic horses, and you know, Clifford, Baker and the other team that's around Paul, and learning sort of the intricacies of riding races and talking to Ruby was interesting as well. Obviously it had no direct bearing on me. No. Just hearing how things happen out there was interesting.
The feedback from him, yeah, and his view of what riding the horses.
Yeah, you know, it's one of the best views you'll get from a jockey, so it's well worth listening to. And
obviously with your dad, you were brought up with horses, were you?
Absolutely, yeah. Horses in the family through and through, from beyond my grandparents. Really it's all about show jumping to start off with, but I wasn't good enough at that, and racing always sort of struck me as something that, you know, I'd like to be involved with one day. And
so you did show jump yourself, did you?
Yeah, I did, to an low international level.
Yeah.
And then obviously got an opportunity to work for Paul, learnt about the racing industry and kicked on from there.
So how did that come about, the opportunity with Paul? Was it?
Well, I went down there for an open day. I had a pointer of my own that I wasn't doing that well with. Right. I realised that it was okay but not great. So I wanted to learn how to do it properly. Went down there and for a week during the open day, and he said, if you ever want a job, we'll get you one. And the rest is history. Right.
And then you developed Lodge Hill. Really, it's your father's land, is it, this? Or?
Yeah, well, my dad's farm's separated by about 400 metres of road. This just happened to be sort of a leg to that farm. There's 90 acres here. It's completely separated from him. And his show jumpers, and we got the opportunity to build what we wanted. We've got a 7 furlong loop and uphill gallop that rises 45 metres.
Yeah.
That were put in by Andrews Bowen, who are our stable sponsor. It's unique, it's raised off the ground using equivoid technology that they use at the Olympics.
And it's raised with some crates as well, so you get the drainage.
That's what they're called equivoids.
Right.
And that's the technology that's
so it's not the surface, it's the actual...
The surface is a good surface. You know, you've got to have your finished product's got to be good, but the unique part of it is the gallop technology, is the underpinning, the drainage, if you like.
So even with the heavy rain we've had, obviously over the last few months, it's been absolutely torrential, hasn't it, down this area?
Yeah, it has. I mean, we've got a lot to moan about, but we've got a lot to be thankful for, because it's not in our front rooms as a lot of people in the West Country. But
absolutely, yeah.
We've whatever lands goes through and out, and whatever comes at it goes straight under and out.
So you've not had any issues at all, even with the weather we've had. Fantastic. Then just explain about some of the other facilities you've got there in the yard.
Well, it's what you need to train national hunt horses, really.
So learning some good schooling fences, haven't you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, learning from Paul, we tried to do it in a minimalist way. You know, you've got to keep it simple and get them fit, feed them well. So to do that, we've got the loop at the bottom, which we use for warming up, and then the outside 2/3 of the loop have got jumps on them. We can start from poles up to baby fences, then you can move outside. Up over the Easy Fix and other fences there that are bigger and obviously stronger before you go to the racecourse.
So that just builds their confidence as you get
there. We've got a jumping lane, a 5 jumping lane with set distances in between. Got a lunge ring, the walker, heap of turnout. Yeah, but we don't go beyond that and go into the sort of the sort of secondary level, if you like, of the swimming pools and the treadmills and things like that. We tried to keep away from that.
Keep it as natural as possible.
Yeah, God knows if we'll go to that in the future, because obviously, you know, things change and training methods evolve and things like that. But
you've got the solarium and things like that, haven't you, too?
Yeah, I mean that's a luxury rather than a necessity.
But the horses seem to enjoy it, do they?
Oh, they love it.
Obviously, the happier they are.
Yeah.
Like with turnout paddocks, isn't it? They've got plenty of space to be horses, which is the important thing.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't ever turn out, and we don't fall into that category fully. But there's only sort of half a dozen that we'd turn out during the winter. In the summer, obviously, they all want to go out, but it's hard to do when you're trying to manage your land, because you don't want it chewed up for when you're trying to make your haylage in you need to keep your space and turn out in the summer when it's good weather.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked a bit about, as we were walking around, we talked a bit about the types of horses you had, and you said they're nearly all national hunt bred horses that you take on. You have a few ex-flat horses that go over jumps. And do you think that's just something that you've learnt from Paul, that they're a better long-term prospect, are they, or is it?
No, I think Celestial Halo and Zarkanda proved that theory quite inaccurate. It's differences though. I mean, you very rarely see a top class or even a middle class flat horse go and make a chaser. You know, if you want to get a chaser, you've got to really go down the long slow burn route of getting a national hunt store and improving it, or going to get a point, you know, proven point de pointer or something like that, or even a French horse. So it's a little bit of a longer game to get a chaser, but yeah, the flat horses have their place.
Yeah, definitely. And like you say, top class hurdlers, you certainly have plenty of those to look at.
You need I think you need speed. Well, it's obvious you need speed to win those races, and that's what races, you know, the tempo that races are run at nowadays.
The group levels,
it's just so much quicker than it was when I started, which does, you know, which is not long ago in reality. But just watching races nowadays, if your horse doesn't travel up to 2 out, you've normally not got a great chance of winning.
No, it's hard. I think it's harder to come from the back then in a lot of these top class races now. Well, no, going to be up with the pace.
No. That's completely pace related.
Yeah, you think it's more.
It's where your horse, you don't often
the engine in the horse to keep that pace up for the whole race.
No, I think it's your horse. If they go fast.
Yeah,
you know, you're getting into jockey talk now. Which isn't where which isn't. But what I'm trying to explain here is that horses need to travel, and they need to have a bit of natural pace. Years gone by, you used to be able to get them really, really fit, have a slow horse, have an aggressive jockey, jump off, and you could push them for 2 miles.
Got you.
Doesn't happen anymore. You have to travel up to 2 out, or nearly up to 2 out, to have a realistic chance of winning. Of course, horses can win the old-fashioned way, but it's a lot harder nowadays.
And let's talk through some of your horses then that you've got in the yard. You've obviously, the one I met you through was Toby Laroni. He's won a couple of times for you. How many winners have you had this year? We've got 40 odd in the yard, have you?
Yeah, we've had. We started with 24 in the yard. We're now up to 40. We've had 16 winners. We've had we've had a non-existent January and February.
Just because of the conditions.
It's been terrible. We had a few placed horses. Balian Rai was second in the Sky Bet. The horses have run. The ones that we've ran have ran okay to a point. There's probably half a dozen that I've been disappointed with. More with myself that I ran them on the bad ground. But
the conditions,
I think I've just got to be patient, and I know now that the horses don't particularly like it. They train on a decent surface, you know, avoid it, and that's what we're waiting for now. They're all basically kicking the door down, ready to run, and as soon as the ground turns, we'll be off. Yeah,
and you said there's a few that you're even going to carry on through the summer with. You're going to have some summer jumpers as well in the yard.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
It's at different levels. Some will aim at the better novice chases and novice hurdles, and others, you know, they have their place in the summer because that's their level of competition.
Yeah. So there's always, you think that's the difference now with the summer jumping, because I mean I've noticed it certainly over the last 5 or 6 years. It seems to be better quality through the summer even now.
Yeah, it does. Of course it is. I mean the prize money on offer for the 0 to 115, 120s more or less replicates what you're getting in the winter.
Right.
Anything above that, there are a couple of races around,
but not many. No.
Whereas in the winter, there's probably 3 or 4 a week. In the summer, there's probably 1 a fortnight.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
you've got Saturday horses, really, aren't they? That you get the better prize money at the weekends.
Yeah. I mean, the Market Raisin, Newton Abbot, Worcester, Stratford.
They have summer plate at Raisin.
Yeah, Raisin and Newton Abbot have 2 particularly good days. Stratford have a couple of good days, and Worcester have sort of boosted their novice chases and handicap chases program this year, I see. So
it's not underwater.
Well,
it gets a lot of water.
Apparently it's been worse. It's hard to believe, but apparently it has.
Has it? Yeah.
Well, that's what they say.
That's lovely. Anyway, we'll have a look at a few of the courses if we can next. That's great. Thanks for your time on that.